Hey guys, welcome back to CozyCraft. In today's video, we'll be looking into the most disturbing Minecraft stories I have found on the internet. But instead of just telling you this with some random background gameplay, I'm going to be recreating this. So sit back, relax, fall asleep, and as a reminder, make sure to listen with headphones for the best experience. Enjoy. The copy in the wheat field. I'd made it months earlier, just a survival save I used whenever I wanted to switch my brain off for a bit. Nothing special, small wooden house, fenced farm, a mine entrance out back, and a strip of wheat stretching down toward a river. It was the kind of world you make when you're not trying to do anything else impressive. You just build, survive, log off. One night, I loaded back into it after not touching it for a while, and straight away something felt off. Not dramatic, not one of those moments where you spawn in and everything's destroyed, just off. It was getting dark when I loaded in. I was standing outside my house, facing the wheat field, and the first thing I noticed was that one section of the crops had already been harvested. At first, I assumed I must have done it before logging out last time, but the more I stared at it, the less that made sense. The wheat was gone in a perfectly straight path. Like someone had walked into the field, cut one row, and then stopped halfway through and left. I checked my inventory, no wheat, no seeds, nothing. So I just stood there for a second, trying to remember if I'd done it and forgotten. It had been a while since I'd been in that world. Maybe I was overthinking it. I went inside, slept, and figured I'd sort the farm in the morning. But when I woke up, the front door was open. That bothered me instantly, because I always shut doors behind me in survival. Always. It's just one of those habits. Creepers, zombies, whatever, I never leave them open. I shut it, stepped outside, and saw that another strip of wheat had been harvested during the night. Same pattern. Neat, intentional, only this time it was closer to the house. I actually laughed to myself at first, not because it was funny, but because I had that stupid moment of trying to rationalize something that clearly wasn't rational. I remember literally saying out loud, "Did I do this in my sleep or something?" Then I noticed the torches. I had torches placed all around the field to stop mob spawning. One of them had been removed and placed 3 blocks to the left. Just one, not broken, moved. That was the first moment I was uncomfortable. Because crops getting broken could maybe be some weird memory thing. Maybe I'd done it and forgotten, but I knew for a fact I hadn't moved a torch. I started checking everything. My chests were normal, furnace normal, mine entrance normal, animals still in the pen. Nothing looked damaged, nothing looked raided. It was like someone had entered the world, walked around quietly, moved 1 or 2 things, and left. I should have just quit then. But curiosity took over. I wanted proof I was imagining it. So I spent the next in-game day fixing the wheat, replacing the torch exactly where it had been, and then I did something I never usually do. I stayed awake through the night. I stood on the roof of my house and watched the field. Nothing happened for a while. The moon crossed slowly over the river, mobs wandered at the tree line, and I started feeling stupid. I remember thinking this whole thing was getting to me more than it should. It was just a game, a forgotten save, probably a couple of weird little details I was reading too much into. Then I saw movement in the wheat. Not a mob, not the full body of a player either, just the top of a square head moving between the crops. I froze. It was moving low through the field, disappearing and reappearing between the rows, heading towards the house. At first, I thought it had to be another player somehow, but this was a single player world. No one had access to it. No one should have been there. I crouched on the roof and stared, not moving. The thing stopped in the center of the field, then it slowly turned and looked directly up at me. It had my skin. Exactly my skin. Same hoodie, same face, same everything. But I wasn't down there. I was on my roof, staring at a second version of myself, standing perfectly still in the wheat. I actually backed away from the edge of the roof in real life. like that was going to help, but when I looked again, it was still there. No walking animation, no jumping, just facing me. Then it stepped backwards into the weeds and disappeared. I jumped down instantly and ran into the field, swinging my sword through the crops, expecting something, anything, to be there. Nothing. No name tag, no footsteps, no sign of another player, just one harvested strip leading deeper into the field than before. And at the end of it, placed neatly on the ground, was one item, a single piece of wheat. I went back inside and blocked the front door with dirt. I didn't care how dumb it looked. I blocked the windows too and stayed there until morning, listening to zombies outside and telling myself that's all it was. Just mobs. Just normal sounds. Just a stupid coincidence with a weird visual glitch. Morning came. I broke the dirt, opened the door, and found another version of myself standing in the farm pen with my sheep. This time, it wasn't looking at me. It was looking at the house. The second I moved, it sprinted. Not away in the forest, not towards the mine, straight past me, shoulder to shoulder, and into my house. I spun around and chased it inside, but by the time I got through the doorway, nothing was there. My house was empty, except for the chest. My main chest was open, and inside, every single stack had been sorted perfectly. Wood with wood, stone with stone, food with food, tools lined up in order, way more organised than I had ever kept it. At that point, I was genuinely panicking. Not jump scare panicking, that horrible kind where your stomach drops and your brain keeps trying to explain something it can't explain. I turned around to leave the house, and there it was again, standing outside the front window, my skin, my face, watching me. Then it lifted one arm, not a wave, just enough to point at me. Towards the back wall. I turned. On the wooden planks behind me, written in a line of dirt blocks I definitely had not placed, there were 3 words. You forgot me here. I left the world immediately. A day later, I loaded it back up, because part of me still wanted to prove it had some ridiculous bug, a texture issue, corrupted chunks, something explainable. The house was gone. Not exploded, not burnt, just gone. Only the wheat field remained, and in the middle of it, one perfect path had been harvested in the shape of a square. Like a player head.